We love. We love. Happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome to Speculation Sunday on a Sunday. Thank you guys for joining us. We got Just Ask Danny in the freaking house. Danny, how are you doing, my friend? How are you doing?
I'm doing good. We were just talking. That's why we went a little bit late. Sorry, because we were getting ahead of ourselves, just getting talking about stuff. But we were talking about D23 predictions, and Mondo was just saying how crazy it is. That's only 2 weeks away before so much has changed, and we have so much to talk about because we're gonna know so many more things than we know right now.
We know more things all of a sudden this week from Disneyland. Is Disneyland gonna just trickle in all these like new things and not save them for D23, Danny?
If you
Because they've
remember
done it before. They have done it
I know.
before.
Last D23, we were we hate to say it, but we were a little disappointed with what they announced at D23 Expo itself. And then all of a sudden, so like I'm just talking about what they announced at the Expo, but then all of a sudden, like the next week after D23, they dropped this like amazing news, and then Mondo would kept saying like, "What the heck? Like, why wasn't this in the presentation? Like, why was this a week later?" we
Why
just
why
had
is this a Parks blog and not the Josh Tomorrow announcement? You know what I mean? Remember that? Oh,
yeah.
crazy, crazy. Thank you everybody so much for joining us here on the YouTubes. Thank you for joining us on the Twitters. We are on the verge of greatness, everybody. We got Midsummer Scream coming up next week. We're going to be live streaming from all the big panels: Fright Fest, Scary Farm, and the good old Halloween Horror Nights on Sunday.
And with that, Mondo, are we going to have Speculation Sunday on Sunday to talk about
Heck
this horror
no.
news?
I want to save Speculation Sunday till Tuesday. Just because I feel so much news is going to come out of this weekend. We got to give it a day to resonate. I think Tuesday will be a good
Okay.
day.
Maybe we get some extra guests too, because it's going to be basically all horror.
Yeah.
All horror.
Halloween everything.
Yeah.
I don't doubt too that Oogie Boogie's probably ramping up to announce.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess a new character. I don't know if they'll do a new show, but
We know that Disney loves to like counter New York, like anything that Universal does. So if they announce something over the weekend, like what if Disney just throws out a villain for like
yeah,
Oogie Boogie?
I don't even know what could be big news at Oogie Boogie. I really don't know. I commend Oogie Boogie. They've brought the big villains that everybody wants. They brought them all. Honestly, I think the biggest one that's remaining is the King, or not King Thanos, but just Thanos himself. Um, Danny, before we get started, any content, podcast, anything on the horizon on your end, just to let people know?
Yeah, we had a D23 podcast go out last week, or I guess this week, or I guess yeah, last week because today's Sunday. So we had a podcast go out. D23 knows Need to Know's Part 1. I'm gonna do a Part 2, not this week, but next week. The next week afterward, because that's the week before D23, and I figured we'll have a lot more questions by then. I want to give everyone at least a week to provide some more questions, because I want a big part of part 2 to be like a Q&A, so that we can answer some questions that people have. This first part 1 episode was a lot about like parking, because that's a big question I get, about the RSPs, because at the time when the episode came out, we were still in the selection window, and then shopping, because shopping was a big deal. We didn't even really talk about it a lot, Mondo, when we talked about it last week, but we have a whole D23 section, you guys, in today's show. So we'll talk about that later on, to get into the shopping, because there's a bunch of shopping stuff that we missed out on. So,
Oh yeah, Arlene said last podcast was awesome. We need a part 2.
We're gonna have a part two.
I want to get to this question real quick. Deadpool at Oogie Boogie? I'm hearing that. So let me just throw a couple things out there. Uh, I was at World of Disney like, I don't know, 4 days ago, 5 days ago, and I said, "Where's the Deadpool Wolverine merch?" Person was like, "I don't even know if we're gonna get any. As far as I know, I don't think we are." And I was like, "There must be issues from licensing or something that Deadpool Wolverine merch can't be at the campus, can't be at World of Disney. I don't know. Um, Weird." I've also heard Oogie Boogie. I have no clue who's coming for Oogie Boogie, but Deadpool, I'm hearing there's a strong possibility that he comes to campus. Um, I hope he does. It's gonna break the internet. The movie's for sure gonna break the internet. And this Deadpool Wolverine movie is really shifting the tide of the current direction of Marvel, and it's going to be sent to X-Men. X-Men is the future. Mutants is the future, and I'm all here for it. I'm all here for it. Me and Danny, we've been saying X-Men, mutants. That's where they should have gone instead of this Phase 4 weird stuff they did. But
Yeah.
the course has been corrected for sure. But yeah, I'm hearing Deadpool in regular theme park hour, not Deadpool in Oogie Boogie. Deadpool in regular theme park hour.
Yeah. I was gonna say, Mondo, at what do you call it, Midsummer? We also get Knott's announcement too, right?
Yeah, Not Scary Farm will be there. Not Scary Farm will be there.
Yeah.
I think Knott's and Horror Nights are both Sunday, dude. It's just mayhem. Sunday's gonna be
Mayhem.
Yeah, Sunday's gonna be wild. Midsummer, and Midsummer Scream emailed today. It was like a media email they sent out. Where'd it go? It says Midsummer Scream selling out. Don't wait to purchase your pass for the world's largest convention. They have less. They have less than 100 VIP of the gold bat passes, which is like for all 3 days. So yeah, this is going to be probably the most jam-packed Midsummer Scream we've ever seen in our lives. It seems like they got a lot of talent this year too, from all over the horror community, movies, books, celebrities. It's pretty wild. All right, Danny, I'll let you start off. Where should we go in today's live? What do you want to do?
Well, let's start off with Universal and Halloween Horror Night since we're talking about horror. Have you had a chance to go this week, Mondo? Any news on the roller coaster? Any
Yeah,
news on some of the mazes? What's going on in Universal?
dude, Universal Studios Hollywood. I can't believe my eyes, Danny. I can't believe my eyes. Hold on, I got photos. I got photos. Oh man, this is gonna be a good speculation Sunday, dude. So this is the photo I took. There's actually been more progress that has happened beyond this. Um, this is literally like support for track that will soon come to life at the hillside, not the upper lot, but the hillside. Um, and at the very right side, or there you go. That's a more zoom in. There's been like more beams that have been added as of today or yesterday, but seeing this now happen, Danny, it's unbelievable, dude, that they're moving like this. I had a chance to speak to somebody. I've never met this person in my life, and I was just picking the person's brain, and I asked a simple question. I said, you know, I just want to ask, when does the coaster from up there connect to this thing that's about to come to life? And the person said it's going to be quicker than you think. And I was like, well, does quicker than you think mean 4 months, 6 months, 3 months? Pretty much 1 to 2 months, Danny. We're going to see track from the top go to the bottom. And that's if things go well. You know, there could always be setbacks and whatever. But the rate of speed is just unreal, dude. It's unreal. They're definitely pedal to the metal now. When you see this, Danny? and you have me saying that there's going to be possible track from the top connected to the bottom. What does that make you feel? Like, what do you think? Because you got to admit, dude, this is crazy.
Yeah, they seem to be moving so fast with this construction. You know they did say they had a little bit of a delay just with some of the landscaping so difficult, right? It's a hillside. They're trying to make sure that the support beams go low enough into the ground so that they actually provide the necessary support and don't move. And things like that. And you would never know there was a delay because it seems like they're just like ahead of schedule. It seems like so quick on this. So
Yeah, it's incredible. Nothing but incredible news. Uh, I don't know if like they're trying to do early 2026, middle 2026. I have no idea. But they're really pumping the fire. We got 10 months celebrating. Shout out to Big Rags. Oh my! Heck yeah, Big Rags! Happy Sunday, hyped for D23. Woo! There's gonna be a lot of D23 talk, my friend. Do not worry at the very end. But thank you for 10 freaking months, Big Rags. Fire it up. They got us working 610s out there. Hey, it looks like it, man. This project is just too cool. What's up, Vegas Film Critic? Greetings.
hey, what's going on?
This project is just too cool. Too cool, man. What's up, Darnell W? We got C Hill in the chat. All right. That's enough for that. Let me keep moving, Danny. I want to show you.
Oh, I see you got the 36-month badge, by the way. I see people rocking it.
Yeah, dude. Shout out to Benji for creating that one. It's just extremely honored to see 36 months. That's just crazy. What's up, John Boos? Also here we got the facade of Monstros 2. Now they got like, what is it called? Branches or?
Look how good that looks, Mondo. Look how good.
It's just insane.
It's incredible.
Kind of like a closer look. Also, too, this one, I guess I should just go to John Murray's tweet in a little bit. It was said that, God, let me just go to John Murray's tweet real quick, Danny. Something will be announced before Midsummer Scream. Where is it?
And that's not the Ghostbusters facade?
No. This is behind Transformers where Holidays in Hell was. Right here. Is there going to be... Oh, no. Is there going to be a performer outside the facade of this house that this person is asking on Twitter? You'll find out the answer to one of those questions next weekend. House on T-pad, the house on the H slot. Yeah, I'm guessing this is T-pad. So I have a feeling. I'm just gonna throw this out there. This is obviously speculation Sunday. Take everything with a grain of salt. I have a feeling that John Murdy might do a double announcement at Midsummer Scream. This, whatever this unknown house is, might be one of them. And look at this one, Danny. Right here. That is the one that's in the voice soundstage. And everybody's rumoring Universal Monsters. So get excited, everybody. Midsummer Scream Sunday. We're 1 week away from a lot of unveiling of Halloween Horror Nights coming to life from John Murdy himself. But it's just crazy, dude. I can't believe it.
We have King Bird 09 Mondo in the chat says, Mondo, for the Terror Tram this year, TLEV Media said the Terror Tram is supposed to be rumored for Blumhouse of Terror, or Horrors of Blumhouse Terror Tram.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Right? I took this picture on my last trip a couple days ago. This never went down. I'm assuming this will get used again for Halloween Horror Nights Terror Tram. Uh, Everybody's been saying that horror's a Blumhouse or just Blumhouse Terror Tram. So that would be like Megan. I think even Insidious is Blumhouse. Black Phone guy, whatever his name is. Uh, I guess Michael Myers, right? He's Blumhouse. Freaky's Blumhouse.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Terror Tram is just like a cherry on top. Um, this is how I look at it. Terror Tram has one job: to eat a lot of people and get them away from the mazes. Last year, it really didn't do that very good. People just didn't do Terror Tram. It wasn't a draw. So I hope Terror Tram is better this year, where people do Terror Tram, so we can have lower weights everywhere else throughout all the other mazes.
Yeah, I feel like Purge really drew in the crowds for when it was
Yeah,
the Purge.
people love Purge. The Purge is actually Blumhouse, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm kind of cool with that. Different entities of Blumhouse, I guess, coming through. Uh, I'm gonna say it for the fans because I know there's a lot of people that agree with this. At what point do we kind of slow our roll with all this Blumhouse at Halloween Horror Nights? Too much Blumhouse. Blumhouse this, Blumhouse that. Um, uh, I want to talk about one thing, Danny. I'm going to pick your brain. On the upper lot, we have Insidious and Ghostbusters next to each other at Curious George parking lot. We also have Quiet Place and Walking Dead and Monstros 2. Those are the houses up there on the upper lot. Who will get Chucky's barbecue? What I'm saying, I hope it's Ghostbusters. I
I
haven't
think
heard.
so.
I haven't heard
I
a
think
whisper
you're
of what
right.
it is. It's just me guessing.
I think it could be that, or if we still have a maze that's rumored to be Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I feel like it could be the Texas Chainsaw Barbecue again, and then the bar is Ghostbusters.
Oh, great! You're
Because you
saying,
can imagine, Mondo, like how cool that would be, the frozen bar with like frozen themed drinks that are like all ice and blue and glowy. Like that's so easy for them to do. So
dude, I that would be awesome. You're talking about in the plaza? Oh no,
no,
you're
I'm
talking about
talking
the
about
bar, like walking at
Jurassic.
Waterworld.
No, I'm talking about the Jurassic bar.
Oh, at the very bottom. Wait. So you're saying a Ghostbusters bar?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that'd be crazy.
Well,
Imagine
because we already know,
just
Mondo,
hearing the
that
music.
the
Do do
plaza.
do 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 do.
You already know that the plaza is gonna be Dia de los Muertos. It always is. It always is.
Yeah, and they got Monstros right there. It's gonna be Dia de los Muertos.
Yeah, so it's like for sure what it's gonna be, like without a shadow of a doubt. But yeah, I would. Is there still a Texas Chainsaw? Like that's a possibility, or is that gone?
I don't know. I don't know. Uh,
Because if we do, because we've had a Texas Chainsaw like massacre barbecue before
at the
in the
lower lot,
past.
where the
Yeah.
pizza place was, the
Mm-hmm.
Surfer Boy Pizza. Um, man, I don't know. I do hope it's Ghostbuster Bar. That'd be badass because I don't know. I feel like we would get like a what is it, 80s or 90s vibe in there. Even though
Yeah.
I know it's like the newer Ghostbusters, but I feel like they would still pay homage to the old stuff. But yeah, I do hope with Horror Nights coming this or Midsummer Scream coming, Horror Nights announcement. I hope better merch comes with whatever gets announced. I haven't bought nothing yet, Danny. Can you believe that? I haven't bought nothing. I'm wearing my old Horror Nights stuff. It's just I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I get an Insidious. I was talking to a lot of people, and I'm like like trying to like build myself up for these mazes that we currently have. The more people I've talked to about Insidious, Insidious might be really good maze, Danny. At
It's
first,
gonna be.
yeah, at first I kind of wasn't, but after talking to a lot of people, and I always got to remember Insidious 1 was a badass movie. So Insidious
Mm-hmm.
1 will be in play of all this further stuff happening. So I'm very excited. Very, very excited. Five Nights at Freddy, hey, bring it to Terror Tram. Why not? Who cares? I would
Don't
take it.
forget too, Mondo. I mean, I know they love to make the restaurants themed after some sort of intellectual property,
Yeah.
because that's typically what they like to do. But we also have the zombie maze on the lower lot too,
Mm,
so there could be some tie-in to that, for the food thing that's outside of
like
like the Mario snacks area.
you're eating brains or something. I
Yeah,
don't
who knows?
know.
Like spaghetti brains or something like that,
Uh,
pasta.
let me pick your brain on this one, Danny. We got a Chucky popcorn bucket that broke the internet last year. What will be the bucket that breaks the internet this year? At least just with the current
Um,
official stuff. You know what I mean?
I think it would be something Ghostbusters related.
Yeah.
So I know that the Ghostbusters, when the movie came out, they had the popcorn bucket of like the thing that like sucks up the ghosts, right? And that was like pretty popular. So if they had something similar to that, or maybe even a Slimer bucket, because
Yeah.
Slimer is in this movie, that could be really cool too. And like he could have his little butt on the back because they always show his butt. So that could be like the back of the bucket. So that would be funny. Like those, I think those would do good. They could even have Stay Puffed. Stay Puffed
Yeah.
bucket. People would love that. So
Damn.
who knows?
Uh, let me see. What's up, Carla Kiko? I think that's it. That's it for Universal. Um, we're just waiting for Midsummer. That's really what it is. All right, Danny, where do you want to go next? Where do you want to go next?
Well, you had a chance to go to Knott's this week, right?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, and we
Did.
had our Knott's adventure in here. She mentioned that Tuesday or Monday, I can't remember now what she put in the chat, but it marks 100 days to Halloween. So they and around this time, she said last year they gave us the tickets for Scary Farm. So maybe we see Scary Farm tickets pop up again this coming week, right before they announce some things at Midsummer. I'm hoping that maybe we get just some more information, or like maybe some teasers start getting posted on Not Scary Farm's social media pages, kind of like leading up to Midsummer. Um, Forgive me, I don't really remember, Mondo. Just at least for Scary Farm anyway. What do they typically announce? Because they have their own announcement event that Not Scary Farm does, and I know post pandemic they kind of did. So like, what do we expect to see? Like how Knott's is going to be announcing stuff for? Are we just going to see Twitter drops like last time, or what?
You know what they announce? They announce the announcement. That's what they announce. They announce the announcement. The announcement is when they actually do announce their new houses, go into detail, go into merch or story that they're trying to build for 2024's version of Scary Farm. Midsummer Scream. I don't know where they're gonna take these things. I highly doubt that they'll announce one of their new mazes. I am hearing strong rumor, Danny, that there will be an announcement again, and I think it's going to be a paid event again, which I'm all here for. I'm willing to pay, even though it used to be free. It used to be a pass holder thing, but if they want to go the paid route, I'm all here for it.
It's
Um,
fun.
yeah, it was fun. It really was. I just know to not even touch the Legacy store on day one. I'm not even going to try to do. I'm going to do everything but the Legacy store. Uh, and
Yeah,
and when they did the announcement as a paid event, didn't they have Ghost Town streets like with monsters?
they did. I can't remember if I was with you, Mondo, during the event, but we didn't even touch we remember we tried to touch the store, but it was like the line had gone all the way to like where Ghost Rider
It
was,
was like 3 hours to get in there.
and they already cut it off, and everyone was trying to buy the lanterns. And then
Yeah,
you and I ended up getting a lantern like right in front of Ghost Rider anyway.
they just
So
put lanterns on a random stand outside of Ghost Rider. People were
so that
pissed
was
about that because they were like,
I know people were pissed about that.
"Yeah,
But
um,
yeah, I'm hoping Gina Marie put it in the chat. We hope lanterns come back with more interactions. 100%. I hope Knotts did not abandon this idea. I can't think of a better idea for a horror like experience. It was so much fun. It was one of the best things of all horror events last year. Was those lanterns? Time to bust mine out again and make sure the batteries are good.
Hmm.
But yeah, no, I think Mondo, for me, like the event, like we had a lot of fun, just like doing the ghost town streets. They had monsters out right there, right where like the barbecue is, like right in that alleyway where Ghost Town Grill is. And it was just like it was kind of fun to like get a little bit of horror, like way earlier than everything else, and it was like it kind of got you. I remember you were all like, "Man, I'm so hyped for
Dude,
for horror to start
I,
now."
I wanted Scary Farm to start that weekend because they did it, I think, on a Thursday or something. The announcement
Mhm.
event. Um, we got Albert. Never been to Knott's Berry Farm, Scary Farm. Is Scary Farm a separate ticketed event? It is. They kick
Yes.
everybody out, and only people that have a ticket for Scary Farm or an annual pass to Scary Farm, you're the only ones that are in there.
Hmm.
You cannot stay in the park on Scary Farm days. Does the hanging come back? Probably. Why? They went so out of their way and they were so loud about we're doing this. We don't care about cancel culture. So I would imagine it's coming back.
Yeah.
The only thing
Mr.
canceling things is budget, though. I'll tell you that
Yeah.
much.
Mr. Disney King. No, Mondo and I don't regret buying the lantern at all. I know
I got
lantern. The
mine.
lantern.
I got mine ready to go. By the way.
Yeah, dude. It's not carrying it around wasn't that fun. In all honesty, carrying it in the mazes was more fun. Leading the way with the lantern as like the first person in the group was a lot of fun because a lot of times the interaction inside the mazes wasn't really like activating anything. It was changing colors, right? So like especially like in room 13, right? Everything was about the devil's elixir, which was green. Like when you were near someone that was like infected with the devil's elixir, or you were getting close to where they were actually making it in the basement of the hotel, like the lantern would turn green, or like in certain rooms, the lantern would flash like lightning when there was like lightning in it. So it was fun. Like it was really great. So it's not just the interactions. I think carrying it in the mazes made it a lot of fun, and for I know for at least a couple because I had gone a few times in my past. I know for some people I had gone with that don't usually like to go to scary like mazes and stuff like that. They liked to carry it because it kind of made it seem like less scary when they had
Yeah.
the light. I don't know. So
I want to chip in on that Danny. The lantern. Uh, I feel like this is like a sell pitch or something. The lantern actually was really cool in the mazes. Uh, be, Not even for the interaction of the lantern, but I could actually see way better in the mazes. Not Scary Farm isn't the most known for their lighting effects. It's really dark sometimes. So when I
mhm.
had the lantern, lots of times I was like, "Dang, I never even seen all these details or this picture on the wall or like just like all these like props they created. I never even seen them. So like lots of times when I was going through the mazes, I remember you remember that Danny. We were like, "Dang, I didn't even know that was there," and I've walked through here like 20 times.
Yeah.
But the lantern does change with the flicker effects, the color it chooses through the mazes. It wasn't just like a standard, one color thing.
Yeah.
It actually worked really well. I'm shocked. Knots and technology don't go along, but it did a good job for being its first year.
Yeah, and for the most part, the I want to bring this up too. Dodger 4040 DGER 4040 puts in the chat here the vampire maze. The lantern turned purple, and the vampires acted like it was a cross. It was cool when I led. You
Hmm.
led like you lead the way, like holding the lantern out, especially in the vampire maze bloodline. They 1842. They were like so interacting with the lantern, and like they'd come up to you and like hiss and they would hate that you're holding the lantern in their face. And it was like it kind of really like it was almost like I was telling Mondo when we were walking through Bloodline. I told him I was like, it's almost like the lantern is like the anti Nobu necklace. Like if you're holding the lantern, like they came at you, and
Yeah.
like At first, like the first week the lantern was out, there was a little bit of confusion with the cast members or the team members or associates that worked at the mazes. Like they kept telling people to turn it off, and then like the word had to get out that like no, you need to have it on because that's how they built it. And then once that confusion went away, like it became really fun, and the actors always were super into the mazes. And even when you're walking through scare zones, right? Like some of the scare zones would turn the lantern like red. I forgot what scare. Oh, it was the clown area, like where all the clowns are.
Carnival.
Yeah, Carnival, that would turn the lantern red. And like if you had the lantern, a lot of times the clowns would like come after you. So it was really
And
cool.
I think the lantern turned green in Ghost Town streets because of Sarah Marshall the witch.
Yes, and also the conductor himself, whose lantern you're actually holding, right? He walked around with his actual lantern, and if he found you and you interacted with him in Ghost Town streets, he would actually change the color of your lantern to be green to match his if it wasn't. And he would like do this little fun interactivity with it and like make it green with like a little magic moment, and then he would like kind of walk away from you. That happened to me a few times as well too. So and I think you actually got that on a reel or something, Mondo, like when we did it.
Yeah.
I remember I was with you when that first happened.
Dude, let me see. God, I had one of the coolest interactions with Sarah Marshall and the lantern. Uh, God, I wish I knew what video it was. God,
I
let me.
think the hardest part for us with the lanterns when we went to Scary Farm multiple times, it'd always be like Mondo would get to the gate and be like, "Oh, I forgot my lantern in the car" or something like
Oh,
that. So the hard part was just remembering it. But our Knott's Adventure puts in the chat, the clowns in Carnival always made us turn the lantern red. It was honestly so fun. Yeah, no, that was cool. If you were walking into Carnival and your lantern didn't automatically change, because sometimes that can happen, especially if, because you have to have your lantern in the mode where it accepts like
the
interactivity.
interaction. Yeah.
Because if you put your lantern on a specific color, it's not going to accept interactivity. It needs to be on the like flickering candle mode, and then it accepts like change and things that happen. But if you put it on a color manually, it doesn't do it. So people who like were walking through, just like what our Knott's Adventure was saying, if you walked through Carnival and you didn't have your lantern on like red, they would go up to you and like make you turn it red. They would all like clown around you. So it's pretty funny.
It was like an attractor. Like it brought the monsters. Fired up! Vegas Film Critic dropping a super chat. Dropping 5, celebrating 11 months membership. Fire! Oh! Heck yeah, Vegas Film Critic. Thank you. You're probably a busy guy. We got Twisters, freaking Deadpool Wolverine. There's like 2 more movies on the horizon. We're in the mode. Things are heating up finally. This is it.
Mm-hmm.
This is it. Michael Jackson. But thank you, Vegas Film Critic. Let me show this real quick, Danny.
I was like, what were you looking for? Did you find it?
Yeah, I got it. Not Scary Farm. This is the beauty of the lantern. Look at this.
There he is.
I don't know if there's any interactions I could do in Ghost Town Streets. Oh my god! Ready to Sarah Marshall herself. Green. I don't know how to do it. I don't know. I'm kind of scared.
He needs help.
Press the bottom button.
The bottom.
The bottom. Once.
Press it.
Oh, Sarah Marshall.
Hit the floor.
Oh, that's the best I could do. Thank you, Sarah Marshall.
Welcome to Ghost Town.
I like the cut of your gem.
Thank you. I would have never got that interaction if I didn't have a freaking lantern.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's almost like an anti Nobu. Like, whereas the monsters leave you alone, like they were all about like going up to people that had the lantern. And if the lanterns, like during the first week, everyone had them because they were still new and people were trying to get them. But like towards the end of the event, the lanterns sold out like mid season, and they didn't restock. and so towards the
People were
last
pissed. They were pissed.
yeah towards the last few weeks of Scary Farm, it was cool if you had the lantern because you got a lot of interactions like those because you were like one of the only ones that was walking around with it. So
Yeah.
it was kind of, and everyone always asks like, "Where'd you get it? Where'd you get it?" And you're like, "Oh, I
Dude,
got it first week."
every time I did bring the lantern, it was all, where'd you get that? Well, they're selling lantern, dude. It was like heartbreaking to be like, I bought mine like a month ago. They haven't brought it back. Oh man. Knott's Berry Farm. I do want to show one more. Let me see. Oh, I think I. Oh, hold on. I got it right here, Danny. I just want to show this real quick. Right here. Montezuma. They're doing something. I haven't really like looked into it too much. This is something that is supposed to happen next year. So I'm gonna keep my eyes and ears open, and hopefully we get concept art. Hopefully we get more news on this at some point in time, maybe later in the year. I have no clue when they even drop like an opening date. Hopefully they do like pass holder preview or something. I don't know if Knott's does stuff like that anymore, but I think Montezuma would be cool if they did do a pass holder preview. So I just wanted to show that Montezuma, that's the future. Mondo, have you done the VIP tour for Knott's Scary Farm? I wanted to with all my heart, but it cost $1,200 to do VIP tour. They didn't let you do a VIP tour by yourself, which I think it was $625, if I'm not mistaken, or $650. You had to have parties of 2 at minimum, so $1,200. Before we move on from Knott's, I want to say this quick story. Remember, Danny, they had a thing called Beyond the Fog, where you got like walkthroughs of the mazes with the lights on. Why the heck did Knott's end that? What were you thinking, Knott's Scary Farm? You brought this like cool experience to life to then end it before the 50th? Dude, Knott's Scary Farm, it's probably too late, but y'all should have done Beyond the Fog every year and let people walk through one of the new mazes. And it doesn't spoil nothing. You're not seeing it in show element or monsters and music. You're just seeing the detail, appreciating the detail, bringing the lore to life with whoever does the tours. I'm really sad that they didn't bring back the Beyond the Fog. I would love to do that. The new kind of weird quirk that's coming this year, Danny, is a breakfast, a Knott's Scary Farm breakfast, I think, at midnight. That's the new thing coming this year, Danny. I don't even know how to get information on that.
Who wants to eat breakfast at midnight?
I'm not going to lie, me. If they got breakfast burrito, I think it might be a buffet, too. Anybody in this chat, can you send me a link or a screenshot of that thing, that this breakfast at midnight?
Are you down, Mondo, to do the? Are you down to do the buffet with me this year? But I don't want to do it opening weekend.
Nah, let's do it like 2 weeks in. Yeah, we'll do it 2 weeks in.
Yeah, because I've never done it and I want to do it, but I like hate the nightmare scenario that it is on opening weekend.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I don't want anything to do with the buffet on opening week. It's always a terrible experience. It's never organized properly. Everybody goes in late because it's just the way it works. Yeah, we should do it the second week, Danny. That'd be really, really good. It's a midnight buffet with monsters. How do I find out information on this? Like, if I go to the website, where the heck is this? I don't even know where to look. Yeah, I really couldn't tell you. I don't know. Upgrades, rides and experiences.
I don't know that it's necessarily listed yet because tickets haven't gone on sale for Scary Farm either. So maybe when they do, you can buy the buffet and all that other stuff.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, Arnott's Adventure said they haven't released the info yet.
Oh, okay. How did anybody even find out that info? How did it? It must have leaked or something. I don't know. I forget. Hula Mama, I do a late night breakfast. Me too.
I just see the thing is that I like the idea of a midnight breakfast, but someone who deals with like indigestion and acid reflux, that's not really a good idea to eat at midnight.
Yeah, and you know that food's gonna be heavy.
Yeah.
Heavy ass food. Trying to go to bed. A bunch of adrenaline going. By the way, hit the like button if you haven't already. We're so close to 150. Thank you all for hanging out with us.
Mondo Arnott's Adventure said, check your DMs. They're sending you the link.
Oh, let me go. Hold on. Knott's Adventure. Somebody sent me a link to Deadpool Wolverine merch on Disney Parks blog or Disney store. What? Damn, lots of stuff happening. Okay, let me go to this link. Our Knott's Adventure. Thank you, Our Knott's Adventure. Let me see. Decline. I would have never found this. I don't even know where to go to find this. There it is. Select nights of Knott's Scary Farm in September and October. Experience a spooky midnight breakfast buffet. It is. It is a midnight breakfast buffet.
12 to 3 a.m.
Friday to Sunday from 12 to 3 a.m. featuring a variety of breakfast favorites and packaged with the commemorative Scary Farm t-shirt. Danny, guess the price. I'm going to go with $75.
I'm going to go with 72.
72, yeah. They got a shirt. Supposedly there's going to be monsters in there, and it's a breakfast. This ain't cheap. That is not going to be. It's a buffet. It's going to be expensive.
$71.99.
Damn. Wow. Oh, look at this. Santa's breakfast? What the heck? All right.
Yeah, look, and they got Cordelia's tea party.
You know, I'm just going to throw it out there.
Disney did so well with those, and then they just stopped doing them. So Knott's comes in and steals the tea away. You know, that could be pretty good business for them.
No, I was going to say, Danny, I've heard just really bad things about the tea at Knott's. Like, bad.
Oh, okay.
Really,
not good.
Like, not even good. In the one fire scale, like negative fires. But I don't know. Maybe they got feedback. They changed it up. Danny, somebody, Nerdy Daydreams. Breakfast at midnight equals Taylor Swift 22 lyrics. I don't know what that means.
In the song 22, there's a lyric that says breakfast at midnight.
Maybe they play Taylor inside the restaurant. We've done the tea party twice, and it's not that great, honestly. There you go. I heard like negative fire. Not even on the fire scale, on the negative.
Sounds like Mondo needs to bring Max-a-Rooney to Santa's breakfast, though.
Oh, yeah.
That might need to be a thing.
Let me read that thing, Danny. Hold on. This is my first time seeing that. Join select weekends from 8 to 11 for Santa's breakfast. Meet Santa Claus, enjoy delicious breakfast, and receive a commemorative plush. Yeah, that's calling my name big time.
Yeah. You can get some Santa photos, and
yeah,
you can give Max the little plush, buy a Snoopy plush.
I was gonna say, meeting Santa at any of these theme parks is always an S show. It's packed. Every kid wants to meet Santa. Let me see. Anything else at Knott's, Danny, or let's move on?
Yeah, I would say if you haven't done it already, Mondo, you need to do it literally today, and I'm gonna like hassle you until you do it. But if you're listening to this podcast and you have a Knott season pass, don't forget to add your Scary Farm add-on. They're going to run out, and as soon as tickets go on sale, that's probably when we're going to start to see the add-on run out. So
I'm going to do it this week before Midsummer. I'm gonna, for sure. Because I went through not having it, and that was horrible. It was really horrible. Yeah. No, great advice, Danny. You have a pass, and you love Scary Farm, add it. before Thursday, because everybody's gonna want to have Scary Farm Pass come midsummer, and especially too if there is an announcement, the hype just keeps building more and more and more. Very exciting, very exciting. Oh, I have to bring this up. Damn, did I do an Instagram post? I think I did do an Instagram post. I have to bring
Or not to adventure, Mondo. Oh my God, get it done, Mondo. Get it done.
No, I will. I will. Check this out, Danny. Check this out right here.
Gobernator.
These are the gobernadores. Gobernadores. I just suck at that word. I call it the gobernador. So, Taqueria, Baja Taqueria in Fiesta Village has these gobernador tacos. And I just want to bring this up. What are you saying, Danny?
On your post, it says they're at Los Tucanes de Tijuana.
Oh, no, that's the song.
Oh, that's the song.
Yeah, that's the right here. Look.
It's La Chona.
These are the best way to describe them. They're like quesadilla tacos with shrimp. That's the best way to describe. And whatever that extra sauce thing is was ridiculous. I just want to throw this out there. Anybody that has a Knott's Pass, or especially if you bought a tasting card and you have a couple tastings left for summer nights, please, I urge you to get these Gobernador tacos. I was talking to my sister. If these were at Disneyland, every Instagrammer, TikToker, everybody would be going viral and being like, these are the best thing in the world. But since it's not, not a lot of social media goes that way, but these would be that. Like how the cookies were at Harbor Galley, this would be that viral. They're that good. I was shocked. I don't even know why Knott's has been holding out on good ass tacos like this, but this might be the best thing at Knott's Berry Farm right now. Like, and I'm being honest. I was shocked, dude. Y'all know I keep it real. I was shocked more than anybody. They were bomb, dude. I'm gonna use another tab on that, I think. What did you say, Daddy?
What did Monica think about it?
She can't eat the shrimp, so she was just watching me eat both of them. Oh man! All right, let's move on, Danny. Where are we going next, dog? Where are we going next?
Well, we're going to Disneyland next. So we've talked about Halloween Horror Nights. If you're just joining at Universal Studios, Mondo also talked about some updates from the Fast and the Furious roller coaster. We talked about Scary Farm and Knott's Berry Farm. Now we're going to head to Disneyland before we finish the show with D23. So hold on to your D23 questions because we'll get there at the end.
Yeah.
But Mondo had a chance to visit Disneyland this week. I didn't get a chance to go. And you had some great updates there. Just saying.
Yes. But before we get into those updates, Danny, I got to get into this update. And shout out to my boy, Food at Disneyland. Look at this, Danny. Disneyland food prices. I can't play the song, but there's no other audio than the song. So prices have gone up. The churro toffee, $8.49. Look at this apple, $15. $14. $14.
The churro toffee's $8.99.
Yeah. Look at popcorn, $6.
Oh,
Frozen lemonade. Look at that the birria taco or whatever. He put it right there in the. Let me zoom in. Let's read. Disneyland has raised the prices on their food and drinks resort wide. I first noticed the price increase yesterday evening. I talked about this on a bonfire. Theme Park IQ put it all in good detail how much things went up. I first noticed price increases yesterday evening at the candy cane shop. I could confirm today at Disneyland that most of the candy shop treats are up 50 cents to $1.50 for the more expensive. I then pursued the menus at the restaurants and noticed prices went up there as well. Over Jolly Holiday, the prices went up several items, including the beef birria toasted cheese sandwich, $15.49 now. And the formerly budget-friendly Jolly Holiday combo, now $14.49. A carton/box of popcorn cost $6. It was $5.75, and the churro toffee $8.49. Danny,
I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it now on his posts.
Theme Park IQ.
No. Food at Disneyland on his too. His other ones.
Let me see if I can go to Theme Park IQ real quick.
Yeah, go to their website.
Oh, it might have been an Instagram thing this person did. Damn. Maybe their website? I don't know. Damn, they don't have it anymore.
Yeah, I was gonna say another person I want you to pull up, Mondo, real quick on Instagram. Theme Park Takeover, I think his name is. We've met him a few times. I think he's a fan of the channel as well. But he posted something that I didn't even know what I think went down under the radar. At least for me, anyway. I didn't know about it. But for those that have been going to Pixar Pier and the Bing Bong Sweet stuff, they've had the shop under construction on the side where they sell candy, like the treats and candies on the left side. They've had that part under construction for a while, and the reason being is they've completely changed the memory refreshers, like all of them. So now they have one for literally every single emotion, including the new ones: ennui, shame, or like whatever they embarrassed.
What is that Instagram called?
Theme Park Takeover, I think.
Nah, because if I go to Theme Park Takeover, it's like it's an account that has like 50 followers.
Oh man.
Do you follow that person?
Yeah, I'm looking right now. I thought it was Theme Park Takeover. Let me see. I'm looking for it. But anyways, they changed that model and they added it.
Instagram's hard, Danny, because like you'll see something, that post disappears forever. You're like, oh my, I don't even know who posted it.
Oh my god! But yeah, they changed the memory refreshers and they added one for like ennui, for anxiety, and so like they have all the different flavors now. There's like so many different flavors, and it looks really really cool. I'm trying to find it.
I know what to do.
You know,
Bing Bong refreshers.
Memory refreshers.
Memory refreshers. Man, do people like post about it or anything? I'll say the past week. Is there any photos? Yeah. So you're saying they changed them now?
Yeah, because it used to be just like, I don't know if you remember when you went in there, it used to just be like the slushy machines that were sitting there, and then they had one for like every color. And then the menu up above had like rainbow unicorn, sunshine in a cup. Well, now they don't have that anymore, and it's just the different emotions. Each have a different.
Got it. Shout out to Disney Hype Beast. Hype Beast, there it is.
There it is, yeah.
Oh, wow!
So now it wasn't themed before. It was just like slushy machines sitting on a counter. So
I love how Disney never like promoted that. I had no idea,
dude. I had no idea until I saw it either.
They added way more now.
Oh, way more!
Like double the amount.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I want to go over there and try it now for sure. Try some of the different flavors.
Wow. I wish I knew what the flavors were. I can't. Even if I zoomed in.
Val put it in the chat, Mondo. Theme Park Takeover is theme, but park is without the A. So Theme Park Takeover.
All right. Damn, I didn't know that. I did not know that. That's actually cool. That's very cool. Let me see. All right. Updates. Let's get to the updates of Disneyland. Disneyland is obviously very heavily under construction. We got to start off with the big update before we get into Tiana's or Haunted or any of that. Country Bear Barbecue Jamboree. Barbecue. Wow. Out of nowhere. This is what we were talking about earlier in the live is Disney is dropping some stuff that you would think would be kind of noteworthy to be talked about in D23, but they're deciding to do it now. And through social media, I guess. I don't even think it was a Parks blog, which is even weirder. Hungry Bear Restaurant at Disneyland Park is being reimagined and will reopen as Hungry Bear Barbecue Jamboree. This restaurant will be inspired by the Country Bears and their travel to music halls across the U.S. To also note, Disneyland Resort says that the restaurant's new menu will be inspired by the Country Bears' favorite regional barbecue dishes. The restaurant will not be a character dining location. More details will be coming soon in announcement date. All right. Danny, where do you stand on this? Are you excited? Is this a good move? Terrible move? What do you think?
Hungry Bear didn't really have a theme. It was a very beloved restaurant, right? But I like the idea of this. I think one of the things that most of us miss at Disneyland was barbecue food. We haven't had that at Disneyland. We've had a form of it over at Paradise Garden Grill in the off seasons when there's not a festival going on. We've also had barbecue in the past over at the Riverbell the Riverbell Terrace.
Riverbell Terrace did it.
That menu's changed so many times now, though. I don't even know.
I want to say, though, Paradise Garden Grill didn't do the barbecue right. I just want to throw it out there.
So I'm hoping. Here's what I'm hoping for Hungry Bear Jamboree. You know who does barbecue right is the brand new quick service. If you want to pull it up, Mondo, in Epcot in the American Adventure Pavilion, it's called the Regal Eagle. It's a quick service barbecue restaurant, pretty new, and that is phenomenal food.
I could concur.
Yeah.
Look at that! Bring all that to Disneyland,
dude. If we're getting barbecue quick serve, I hope it's even slightly like this. So it's like, and when you walk by Regal Eagle when you're in Epcot, it just smells incredible.
It's delicious.
Yeah.
Dude. Woo! Give me that. Look at that. What? A freaking onion ring on the burger? That's crazy. What else they got? Craft Strap. What is this one? Tennessee lemonade. No. Gosh, is there a name for this thing? No name. I'm trying to find it. I can't find it. I don't know. Just a burger, I guess. But I'm hoping. I think the barbecue idea is pretty good for that. I hope it still stays quick service. I hope they're not going the route of turning this into. They said he was very careful to choose the words that this was not going to be a character dining location, but all I'm picturing is like Scott didn't really detail a lot of information, so I'm hoping this isn't like hey, it's going to be a family style sit down restaurant, which was great. I mean, that's what we had with Big Thunder Ranch Barbecue, but we know that if Disney does that, the prices are going to be high, skyrocketing.
So at least with the quick service location, like I would hate to lose a quick service. We already did with Riverbell Terrace, right? We lost a quick service location so it could become dining table service. So I hope we don't lose another one in this. So I'm hoping. Fingers crossed.
I took these pictures yesterday. This is Hungry Bear Barbecue Jamboree. All behind scaffolding now, Danny. I think there's some like legit work about to happen. I don't know how this is all gonna play out. Obviously, we don't have like concept art, but I highly doubt that this becomes a sit down. I think they're going to keep it a quick service. That's my assumption.
Let's hope.
I do recall, Danny. I think it was Theme Park Wizard. He found a permit that they were gonna like expand the kitchen of Hungry Bear. I remember that. I remember
Uh-oh.
that. I do you
Not
think
good.
that means sit down?
Sit down.
Oh, hold on. We got a super chat. Darnell W dropping 15. Oh my Lanta. So excited for Country Bear Barbecue. Reminds me of the old days with the Chuck Wagon.
Don't forget that Big Thunder Ranch barbecue.
Wait, what's Chuck Wagon? Oh man, Disneyland Chuck Wagon? Do you remember this? What is the Chuck Wagon?
That doesn't ring a bell.
I think Chuck Wagon is Paris. Disneyland Paris? Hold on. Stand by. Chuck Wagon. Huh. Wow. Is Chuck Wagon, Darnell W, a sit down or a quick service? That's interesting. I never even heard of Chuck Wagon. I learn something new every day. Thank you, though, Darnell W, for supporting the fire. I think we got another super chat. I just don't want to miss out. It's Adrian dropping the fire. What's up with Disneyland and Country Bears lately? First Big Al and Grizzly Peak. Now Country Bears Restaurant. Also justice for Big Thunder Barbecue. I got to ask the question,
Justice.
Danny. Are
Justice.
we going to lose Winnie the Pooh for the Country Bear Jamboree? Is it going to happen?
I don't think so. I mean, unless they, I don't know. It has to be like a runaway success at Disney World for them to do something like that.
If I'm not mistaken, I don't think it was very crowded on like opening weekend for Country Bear Jamboree. I'm not trying to be mean. That's what it was. It wasn't very crowded. There was no big long lines, people waiting outside to get into Country Bear Jamboree. Everybody that wanted to do Country Bear Jamboree, they all got in. It was not crazy. It was part of Big Thunder Barbecue. Didn't they sell McDonald's fries out of the Chuck Wagon? Wow. They have Chuck
No,
Wagon?
that was Westward. That was Westward Ho.
Westward Ho?
Yeah, Westward Ho McDonald's fries.
Let me see. We got Vegas Film Critic dropping a super chat. Disney PC Police got Liver Lips McGraw. Is Haunted Mansion Elevator finale next? What? They got Liver Lips McGraw? What does this mean? I don't understand. I could have sworn I've seen Liver Lips exist still, right?
No, I think it's because like he was saying like the song that Liver Lips sings. Now it's like Disney song.
Oh,
It's not Blood on the Saddle like it used to be.
The one time I almost want to say I've seen Country Bears Jamboree once, and I think it was with Danny. And I don't even think I made it 2 minutes before I just knocked out. I took a nap, really nice nap in that air conditioner.
Yeah.
So I couldn't even tell you what that song sounded like. Haunted Mansion Elevator finale next. It's rumored very strongly, Vegas Film Critic. We really won't know until like March or February when it goes back to Haunted Mansion OG. Because we already got the confirmation that it's Haunted Mansion Holiday, so...
So his name used to be Liver Lips Mondo, and now it's Romeo McCrowell.
What? They changed the name?
Yeah.
Romeo McGraw. What? What in the Baba Freak? Damn, I don't know the lore of all this Country Bear Jamboree. I'm not so attached to Country Bears. Do you have like a big connection to Country Bears yourself, Danny?
No, not at all. I don't even truly. I mean, I used to do it for sure every time I went to Disney World, just because it was like OG,
Yeah.
and something that we didn't have anymore. But when I was a kid, I don't even remember truly like if we ever did it. To be honest, I remember more so like we that there. I just remember the only thing I could think about when I was like, because I was really young, like when we did that, and the only thing I could think about from the Country Bear from when we had it at Mondo was, and I don't know if you ever did it when you were younger, but the hallway to get to like from where Critter Country is to like where the theater was, I felt like that hallway was like so long. And they had like little arcade games or like penny press machines.
Yeah.
And I remember going in to like do the penny press there, but I don't remember actually seeing the show.
I don't. I
So
don't. I have zero memory of Country Bear Jamboree at Disneyland. When did it end? I want to look it up now.
I can look it up.
Disneyland Country Bear Jamboree last day. I'm just curious. What? It says country. I guess final day. Final performance. Did anybody cover it? Dan, it's hard to find this Country Bear Disneyland Country Bear Jamboree. It's hard to find it because there's so much Country Bear news right now. I think I found it. Hold on. Country Bears. Oh my God, this is just too much info. Yeah, I'm gonna move on. There's a lot of Country Bear news right now because the new one just opened. Jesse S with the super chat, dropping 5. Hi Mondo, Danny. My first time going to Midsummer Scream this year on Saturday. What are some things I should do first? Fire it up. Fire it up. First thing you should do is parking is like a big thing. Scope out the parking lots that are calling your name. There's one parking that's underneath Midsummer Scream, but you could be charged from like $20 to $40. Like you could be charged a lot because it goes by time. So avoid that one. Even though it's like convenient, avoid it. There was a parking like right next to that convention of Long Beach. And it was like there's like a steakhouse right across a Midsummer Scream convention, Long Beach convention. I think it's Ruth's Chris, if I'm not mistaken. They have parking down there, and it's just a flat fee of like $20, and it's super convenient. But a lot of the parking around Midsummer Scream is timed parking, so be aware of that. There is a parking structure like 2 blocks down that pretty much everybody uses because it's like more budget friendly, so that's a great option. But Midsummer Scream, if you ask for my opinion, do the panels. As much as your heart wants to go shopping and walk and all that, the panels is like what really shines at Midsummer Scream. Do the panels that you really want to do, and then at the very end of the day, end it with your shopping and all that. That's how I would recommend. And do not miss out on Hall of Shadows. They do a slider show, which is like the big. It's like the big thing to do in there. And this year there's going to be a new maze in the Hall of Shadows that will be, I think, all Lionsgate properties. So that's going to be crazy. I don't even know what the hell that's going to look like, but it's going to have a lot of money.
that's weird.
All right. But good luck, Jesse. Hope to see you out there.
The only other thing Disney news wise is the strike, and you saw some of that a little bit when you were there. You posted it on your Twitter.
Yeah, somebody sent it to me, and I posted it. Before I get to that real quick, Dan, we got Dan the Touring Man with the super chat. If anything, they should implement the country bears for Grizzly River Rapids at Disney California Adventure. It's shocking they never did, to be honest. It just makes total sense to just have animatronics, or even if it's just statues of country bears throughout the ride. Have some fun music as you're going throughout Grizzly River Rapid. Can you see that, Danny? Since Disney is all about retheming things.
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, I could see them easily implementing that. No problem. Like throwing a little bit of a country soundtrack as you're going through, some music, having some animatronics in different places. It certainly wouldn't be too hard of a redo in order to do that, and could bring some life into it. But I think Disney really wants to gauge just how well Country Bears is probably going to be successful at Walt Disney World before they did something like that. Seems like a lot of money to invest into a redo for that if they don't necessarily need to.
Yeah, and we gotta all remember, Disney really cares about expanding the park. So I don't know. Maybe the retheme of a Grizzly River is just not on their radar from a budget perspective either. It's a good idea. I like that idea. It adds music and flair to the ride. It'd be cool. Rudo says September 9, 2001 is when the Country Bear Jamboree closed at Disneyland 23 years ago. So all of a sudden, 23 years later, they're like, let's do some Country Bear Jamboree stuff. I think it's kind of weird, honestly, Danny. Is Country Bears like a movie or something? Or is that an original thing that Disney did? I have no idea. I don't know the lore like that.
It was original. It was an original thing that Walt Disney did, and then it became a really bad movie in the early 2000s. One that you should not watch.
Oh my gosh! And Disney did that?
Yeah, it was.
The hell?
It's not a good movie. Don't watch it.
Yeah, stay away. Danny's saying stay away. Just stay away.
It has nothing to do with like the original attraction. It was like, I don't know what they were thinking of, but it's not something that you should watch. It's like as bad as like Home on the Range.
I've never seen that one either. We got 8 months of membership from Daniel. Thank you, Daniel. 5-5. Mondo, thank you for a great 8 months. Tonight, you and Danny are bringing all kinds of great Fine Fire info tonight. We are just getting started, my friend. We are just getting started. Thank you for your kindness and support of 8 months. Oh, my Lanta. All right. Finally, let me get back to...
Some people are in the chat here saying they like the movie. We got Sleepyhead, FPV, and Jamie Lynn saying they love the movie. Sea Hill's agreeing with me. She said it's terrible. I thought it was one of the worst movies I've ever seen. And it was like... It's one of those movies where like it's so cringy. That's why I couldn't watch it.
Is it on Disney Plus?
Yes.
I'll watch it.
So.
I'll watch it. And I'll confirm or deny if it's terrible or not. Y'all know I'll tell the truth. But I believe Danny. I usually have the same taste as Danny. So,
remember Disney wasn't doing all that good like the early 2000s with those weird movies like Chicken Little and all that stuff. It came out in the like Chicken Little era.
Yeah, I remember Chicken Little. I was like, that was a Disney movie? I didn't even know.
Yeah, Country Bears, Mondo, came out in 2002.
Okay. Well, I'll check it out on Disney Plus. I haven't seen
it. And it is on Disney Plus. I just verified.
All right. Let me get to it, Danny. Haunted Mansion, big update. We have an entrance. We have an entrance. To zoom out a little so you kind of get a scope. The entrance will now be right here. Danny, what do you think about this entrance? What do you think? Because it's different. It's not the same. They did
a lot of it's different. It's weird because I almost didn't have a chance to appreciate the way Haunted Mansion was before, from like its one of its original like eras, the way it looked. Because when they said that we were getting a new exterior, I didn't really like it. Didn't really comprehend to me like the fact that like literally everything was going away. I thought it was
Yeah.
just being added on. I thought it was just being added on to it, and I was like kind of um like I don't know. I was kind of shocked like that the the how much was torn out when they were redoing the Haunted Mansion. So it's kind of weird that it's like not original anymore, and it's like I mean I know it wasn't original too like a couple times, but it was still pretty old from before. So it was weird that like we're gonna have a totally new entrance this time around, but it'll be cool to see how like like for instance we're getting this attraction. Well, gosh, I don't even know when this is going to be done. I know that we know the attraction's opening soon, right? Maybe in the end of July, early August, and we know we're going to get Haunted Mansion Holiday. But what we don't know is during the Halloween season, when it's Haunted Mansion Holiday and the Christmas season, are we going to see any of this stuff open, or are they going to wait till next year to open it? We just don't know any of that yet, right? So
Nothing.
what I was saying is if they do choose to open it during the Halloween and Christmas season for Haunted Mansion Holiday, do they bother decorating all this new stuff outside, or do they just wait until the Halloween season's over so they can debut it just plain, and then people's first impression of it is like pre-decorated?
We got Zappa Che 2006. This was way early in the live. It finally makes sense now. I've been saving it. Front part of the queue at Haunted Mansion has a deadline of July 31st. Extended queue is mid-September. Elevator end of October. Look at that. Five Fire Community just dropping fire. So this construction will be going into October. We know how fast Disneyland works, so probably December. But there you go, Danny. So Haunted Mansion entrance, like the front part of the queue, July 31st. Right in time for the celebration of the anniversary of Haunted Mansion. Man, it's crazy. This extended queue, Danny, like you were saying earlier, nobody knew it was going to be like this, dude. Nobody.
Didn't.
Like I have to like hold on. I have to bring this up. Disneyland Haunted Mansion concept art. Look at this, dude. Where is this thing? Where is this thing? I guess I should put Q. Okay, here we go. Is it? Gosh, it's so hard to find things. Here we go. Okay, so Disney just showed us this picture. Okay, and everybody was like, "Oh, okay. I guess they're gonna do that." Nobody interpreted it as like that was gonna happen. Nobody.
Yeah, because if you go back to the other picture, Mondo, it's kind of set up the way it was before. We had the turn, like there's the left hand side's that grass lawn that's there, right, when you first walk in. So what's off the edge is like the entrance, right? And then there's that loop around when you come at the front of the mansion. They have the pet statues there, and
Right
there's
here.
that wall. And on the other side of the wall is the switchbacks back and forward. Well, when you looked at this originally, it just looks like, oh, okay, they added like a shade structure with plants over that, because that was fully exposed and you were like burning up in the sun on that part of the queue. So I thought, okay, they're adding a shade structure to that. That's cool. And then you're going to be outside in the other part, but then all of a sudden when Haunted Mansion closed, it was like everything was ripped out. And I remember Mondo's first like photo and like look into it from that hill that like where you're over in Critter Country. He
Very
was just
own.
like, "Oh my, they're tearing out everything." He's like, "They're tearing out
Everything.
all the entrance." He's like, "The entrance is gone." That's when he like
Dude,
texted me. He's like, "Oh my
I
god, it's gone."
I couldn't believe none of that, Danny. Nobody, I don't know. I don't know anybody that guessed like, oh yeah, Haunted Mansion's going to be a dirt field. Like here's a better picture. Like looking down into it, like look at that. There's a freaking dirt field. Uh, this is like maybe 2 weeks ago, so like we're seeing kind of how things are coming to life now. But yeah, nobody expected this. Just craziness, dude. Craziness. Um, Haunted Mansion. Somebody just commented it was Better Steve. Cast members are on the schedule for Haunted Mansion or Haunted Mountain is scheduled in 2 weeks out. So 2 weeks from today. Um, yeah, I talked to some people about Haunted Mansion. Um, I I I think the best way to say it, when are they going to start training people? When is they going to start like, okay, we got our opening crew back for Haunted Mansion? I don't think that stuff has happened yet, Danny. So we'll see. Maybe them trying to open in July. Maybe they have to push back, just delay. It is what it is. I think Disney did say it would be open, or I'm assuming by the start of Halloween, which is August 23rd. But there was just a big rumor and just a hope, optimism that it would be open for its anniversary, which I think is August 9th. August 9th is the big day. Tiana's, uh, we got to talk about that real quick, Danny. This will be, or I got two things I want to talk about. Tiana's, and then we'll go into one more thing, Danny, for Disneyland. Let me get the picture up though. Where is it? Where is it? There we go. Is it? I guess I could show. Let me just show this real quick. This is Critter Country. This is yesterday. I took these pictures yesterday, right? Yeah, the 20th. Yeah, yesterday. This is what it looks like. It looks like the flooring. They're getting ready to just kind of finish all that out, Danny.
Yeah, it looks like all the existing. Because if you see the right side there, where that green little machinery is at, that used to be a different level. And you can even see on the right hand side on the walls of Splash Mountain just where the ground used to be. Because that, if you remember, that used to be a ramp that came down. So they're really truly changing the trajectory and level of the land in this space, probably to make the queue more accessible, right? Because that way, with Disneyland changing the DAS, they're telling everyone who has a wheelchair with a disability that you need to go through the regular queue like everyone else, or you can purchase your Lightning Lane. And in addition to that, Disney didn't really have that big of a queue for Lightning Lane for Splash Mountain. It was always like you entered right there at the barn, and you kind of just walked alongside the queue that was just at that small part at the end. So there's truly a space now you can see where Disney's going to really take advantage of some of that wasted space that was there. There was an old fast pass distribution space there for Winnie the Pooh that they never really used for all that long, and then they had like a separate entrance for Splash Mountain right there as well. That really never was used either because guests always entered it over by Haunted Mansion. So it was like a bunch of wasted space there. And plus the queue was like on an elevated ramp that was like going down. So it was like that you can see now how it's just all flattened and all the same level. So there's probably a lot more space now for them to put more switchbacks, maybe wraps around the tree. So there's a lot of different space here. And it's funny because when we saw the model at D23, this side of the model was cut off. So they had the gift shop there, and they had a big sign for Tiana's Bayou Adventure, the one that we see right now currently in front of the attraction at Walt Disney World when you're looking at it from like the Frontierland side when you're walking in. But they had that list. They had that sitting there in the planter next to Ray's Berets on the model.
Oh,
at least at
damn.
D23. So my guess is that's where you're going to enter, right there next to Ray's Berets. Um,
Wait. So, do you think Tiana's will still go over the bridge, or they don't want that no more?
I don't know. Maybe it does, but maybe you don't enter over there, right? Maybe you start
Uh,
at Raised Berets and then
um,
it goes that direction and then comes back because it allows them to have more space, like more room. And plus, you have to remember, Mondo, that that area right there where you used to enter, right next to Haunted Mansion, that's where the gift shop's gonna be. So
okay. Hold on. Let me go back a little bit. Gosh, I gotta go to like super back here. Where is it? Where's the Disneyland update? There we go. I want to see the bridge. The bridge update. Where is it? Oh my gosh, I gotta go way back. Hold on. I just want to, before I lose my thought on this one. Here we go. Is it this? There it is. Right here. That's where
that's where you
the
used to enter.
yeah. So Splash Mountain, the entrance was where that construction is right now.
Hmm.
It looks like, look at the queue. They don't want that queue right there. Maybe they're just
That's
done.
what it seems
We
like to
don't.
me.
Yeah,
That's
we
what it
don't
seems
want
like to me.
people.
They don't really want people in that side anymore, unless there's like a rope queue that's needed for like opening weekend when it's pretty crowded, or opening months rather. So like, but I feel like they want you to come in through like the signage that says Tiana's Bayou Adventure, like not just entering
Mm,
some rope queue. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
a good eye, Danny. I didn't even catch that, dude. But yeah, because you could see the support like for that signage that's coming. Let me go back. Yeah, dude, you're totally right. I didn't
yeah, because
even
that was like what was D23? It was September 2023, 2022.
let me just ask this. Do you think the queue is gonna make you walk through the store? You have to walk through the store. That's like the entrance.
No, no,
'Cause
no. The store is separate.
that's what I'm getting out of this. I don't know. I guess it'll come to life very soon, but that's cool,
Trying to
dude.
pull it up now and see if I can find it while you're looking for that.
Mm, that's very
Go
cool.
ahead and read some comments in the chat, Mondo, while I try to look for this.
Yeah. We got. Does that mean no bottleneck near Haunted Mansion and Pirates? Probably not. Uh, I have a feeling they don't want you to. They don't want nobody entering near Haunted Mansion exit. They're trying to go away from that. That's that. Now I see why there's so much construction happening like that. Uh, we got a super chat from 88 Fort for Life, dropping 5. Thoughts on 99% cast members vote to go on strike that will affect rides, I hear. Um, I have not had a chance to like read up on like what has happened. I do know I saw it on Twitter. They let me. I guess I won't bring it up right now. They had cast members from the. I'm trying to bring up all these groups and names. I'm trying to remember. Let me just go to my Twitter, so I don't want to mispronounce. Where's my Twitter? Give me a second.
Yeah, yeah. So we were going to talk about the strike, and Mondo had some stuff on it too. Um, so it sounds like they did vote for it, but what we have to find out now is whether or not they're going to do it, right? And for how long they're going to do it. That's like what we don't know. What I couldn't find out is I know it was a lot, it was thousands of cast members, but I couldn't find out, at least from what I was reading, what exact unions it was. So like what
Yeah,
departments did it, does
here we
it
go.
say in that article what
This is
cast members are a part of it?
blogmickey.com. Uh, an overwhelming majority of Disneyland cast members had voted to authorize a strike, citing unfair labor practices by Disneyland. The vote to authorize a strike was passed by an astonishing 99%. Keep in mind that that vote to authorize a strike is not a strike. The Disney Worker Rising movement says that the vote allows us to take action if Disney continues to silence cast members and prevent us from getting the contract we deserve. There's the symbol.
So it's like a group of unions, right?
Yeah, I think it's multiple.
Okay.
According to social media posts, Disney and the union will return to the bargaining table this upcoming Monday and Tuesday, so tomorrow and Tuesday, to try and reach an agreement. The union has alleged more than 650 labor violations against Disney since the spring. The union calls strike actions a last resort. So how did we get here? 14,000 workers of Disney's largest bargaining unit in California represent a diverse set of classification from custodians, ride operators to candy maker and merchandise clerks. Enter in a
Okay.
negotiation with the company April 24th, 2024, and are
Yeah. So I
fighting
know.
for. Let me finish real quick, Dan. Fighting for fair wages, fair attendance policy, seniority increases, and safe parks for cast members and guests. There you go.
Yeah. They, I know the candy workers are their own union. They said store workers, so that's the UFCW, the United Food and Commercial Workers Union. That's the one I used to be under when I was at Disneyland way back when. And then the attractions cast members work under the Teamsters Union, which you and I both worked under when we were in attractions. Um, and then they said security or custodial. So they
Yes,
have that's another
custodians is on there.
so that's another union too. So there's like at least four different unions. It sounds like um, definitely want to make sure the cast members get fair pay, right? Like
Yeah.
it's Disney's notorious for they don't
The
have
best
the
way to say
highest
it,
pay.
Disney has literally has had these issues for like 20 plus years.
Yeah, they're not known for
Disneyland
having
has
the highest
known
pay.
Disneyland has known these things, literally. I worked at Disneyland. I went through some of these things that people are going through.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. It's
and,
like it's
and
not known for the highest pay. I mean, it's one of the reasons why I had to leave there. Right? It's like you need to get
and
a
not
different
even
job
that.
that pays.
When I worked there, attendance policy was already pretty like firm, and it got like tremendously worse in regards to how lenient time off, sick time, and all how you accumulated and all that. Uh, I could only hope and pray that the workers get what they deserve and what they're fighting for, and a
Yeah,
negotiation happens. The last thing anybody wants from both sides is a strike. Um, I hope it doesn't come to that, and Disney can find that agreement with all these unions because they are the magic. These cast members, I'm
mhm,
pro cast member always. I love the cast members,
right.
and I talked to so many. I was talking to a lot of people about it, but yeah, 99% of people are saying that there's issue. There has to be agreement. It's not even like it was like 55. It was literally 99. So it's crazy.
Yeah, the 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 food and beverage workers in the past have I don't know if they're part of this, but they've done it in the past too. But it does work in getting Disney to provide the kind of contracts they want, right, for the cast members. Like Mondo was saying, we had a pretty strict attendance policy when we were there. Um, but then they like changed it like at least twice since I've been working there.
But
And
more
so
strict, literally more
yeah,
strict.
like I don't even know what it is now, but I've heard it's not good. So, um, and
I'll
that
give an
to me
example. Or
that only leads to more attrition, right? Like people just leaving. It's not a good environment. I think people need to feel that they're valued, right? They need to feel they're valued, not only with the pay, but just from their leadership and from just working for the company. I think a lot of the cast members, they're working there. They're choosing to work there, and they know that they're not getting like as high paid as like any other job out there. So they feel a value already, right? Because they like to be part of it all, but at the same time, they're like so much has changed over the last like since the pandemic that like livable wage and like things have gone just so much. I mean, we were just
Inflation,
talking about
literally
how
inflation.
yeah,
Inflation.
we were just talking about how high the prices we're getting at Disneyland. I mean, that's not just at Disneyland.
No,
That's
freaking
literally
rent,
everywhere.
groceries, gas, literally life in California or Southern
Hmm.
California. It's, yeah, it's things are getting crazy. Inflation is horrible. I hate inflation. Hopefully things get better. My heart goes out to all the cast members. I've been pro cast member forever. I was a cast member. Danny was too. We support
Yeah.
cast members. Um, a strike would be just devastating to a lot of people. People got bills to pay. I don't think you get paid when you strike, so that
You
hurts a lot
don't.
of
Yeah.
people. Um, hopefully things work out. I guess tomorrow and Tuesday we'll find out more info. Um, Disneyland. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Hold on. There was one more thing. One more thing. Gosh, where I'm like lost now. Damn, I forgot what I wanted to talk about with Disneyland. Um, Gosh, Disneyland. There was something. I forgot.
Well, I sent you a video, Mondo. I don't want you to post it, but I don't know if there's any way for you can still pull it up. You used to be able to do that, but
Yeah.
um,
Oh. Oh, damn.
so this was from the model at D23, and it actually shows a bunch of switchbacks that didn't exist there now because of that space was multi-level, right? It was like a bunch of like there was a ramp coming down that you had just gone into from when you entered the queue from before. So now there's like a lot of flat space and there's a bunch of back and forth switchbacks that didn't exist before but now do. And the model showed that, but then it cut off like right there, and there wasn't anything further beyond that. But we do see the placement of the new sign for Tiana's Bayou Adventure. So
Dude, hold on. I'm gonna post it on my Instagram story, Danny, just to make it easy. It's just a picture. I'm gonna post a picture. Damn. I didn't even think about looking at the model again. That's a good idea. I that didn't even cross my mind. We have all the answers in the model. uh, Here we go, dude. I want to say it don't look like that though, right?
well, it does on the right hand side, which you can't see because the video showed it a little bit more. But there's a bunch of switchbacks that go around that tree, and so the model showing like I almost want to say like you enter the line there or like close by it because there's the sign right there for Tiana's Bayou Adventure. So
I got it, Danny. I got it. I see it, dude. This is cool. I didn't even think of looking at the model. I'm over here trying to guess things. I could have just looked at the model. It's like I could have just looked at the model. No, I was gonna say this. There, there's like there's different beams though. I gotta go to the top. There we go. Tiana's. Where's Tiana's? So are these three poles right here the signage of this thing?
no, I almost want to say they're for raised berets.
Yeah. So this model is not the same.
No, the models is the same, but it was just really general. They didn't have if you notice, the shop doesn't even have a name on it. It's just empty. And I asked the Imagineers that were there at the model way back at D23 in 2022, and I said, what's the shop going to be called, since obviously it can't be called the Briar Patch, and they just said it's going to have a new name, but we can't share it yet. So like that's why the model basically was just blank, because they didn't really show it because they couldn't announce it yet. So
damn, that's cool. Let me show the queue that you were talking about, Danny. Just to, all right, this will be our last thing, and then we'll move on. Here we go. Dude, I didn't even think about the model. All our answers are in this model.
yeah, so you can see those trees right there. Like there's a bunch of switchbacks there that never existed, like at all, ever. And you can see the lady and the child that are in there. They're walking in a direction towards Haunted Mansion, away. So we didn't have switchbacks like that before.
Wow. What? Dude, that's a lot of space right here in this right side to like.
Yeah, because that used to be a fast pass distribution area, and then more recently they just use it for like strollers for people that were going to Splash Mountain and Winnie the Pooh. I don't know where they plan on putting that stuff now, but they were just like shoving strollers there on the right hand side. But the fast pass distribution like shade structure was like still there for like since it opened in the 90s. So.
Wow. Very, very cool, Danny. I didn't even think of looking at we have all the answers in the model. Like, I didn't even freaking think of that. Let me see. The ground area should be done around mid-September. Ooh, okay. T. Rodriguez, 14 months! Wow. Dude, 14 freaking months. T. Rodriguez, 5 fires. Have either of you tried all of the available Fantasmic dining packages? And if so, which one do you recommend? I've only tried Rancho de Zocalo, but I've done them all before.
We tried them all. We tried them all, Mondo.
Yeah, we've done them all in time. If you're trying to be bougie, Blue Bayou, without a doubt. You're more on the budget side, Rancho de Zocalo for sure. Riverbell, I don't know what need Riverbell fits.
Have you talked to anyone, Mondo, about how the view is from your table at the premium one?
No, I want to say nobody has talked about it, but I have done that spot. To me, I personally rather have a seated in the front area. I get why people want Riverbell premium seating, which is where you sit in Riverbell to watch Fantasmic. It's just a nice experience. You're not in the crowd. You're sitting on a table having your dinner. It's different, but it is not the best spot for viewing, because if you're not some of the first tables in Riverbell, you're behind people. And guess what people do lots of times? They stand up. So you're like sitting back. People are standing up. Kids are standing. You know what I mean? Honestly, I really, really like Rancho de Zocalo. I think I've done it twice now, and my family's done it. Danny liked it too. It's very, I don't know if I've heard anybody complain about Rancho de Zocalo dining. Like nothing.
No, I loved it. I loved every option they had. I've tried them all now. They're all pretty good. I just wish that you didn't have to sit down when you're. But to keep in mind, for the person that was asking that question, T. Rodriguez, if you do Blue Bayou, Riverbell regular, or Hungry Bear, not Hungry Bear, Rancho del Zocalo, you have to sit down on the ground, on the bumpy ground. So make sure you bring a towel or something with you so you can sit down on the floor, a blanket or a towel, if you're planning on doing that, because it's really uncomfortable. It's hard to sit Indian style. That's the one thing about the premium option at Riverbell Terrace, is that you're seated at a table with a chair. So if you got someone in your party that can't sit on the floor like that, maybe they're an elderly person and there's no way they're going to sit on the floor and then get back up again, you might want to consider the River Belle Terrace option, because they are at a table and it's a lot more accommodating for guests like that. Um, they were really strict about even people who were like in a wheelchair. They had to be like at the back of the section, and like it was hard. So there is disabled access sections for Fantasmic, but they're not as good as the dining sections. So
Yeah.
it's like you got to be okay with sitting on the floor. And the reason why they do that is because the VIP like Club 33 sections that are right behind it, like if you stand, you're blocking their view. So
Hmm.
that's why everyone has to stay seated.
Um, we're getting a lot of dirty info right now, Daddy. Shout out to Azapachet 2006, just dropping fire today. Dropping fire. Tiana's will open on either two dates: September 19th, October 3rd.
Well,
What?
Mondo and I were saying
What?
we would probably venture to guess October 3rd, because that new $69 ticket, I think the last day you can use it was September 26th. So the October 3rd date makes a little bit more sense when you think about it that way.
Damn. Wow. Real quick, that $69 ticket, it ends September 26th, Danny. That's the last date.
Yeah, and we had 5 gifted memberships come through
Oh,
from
Lanta.
Carla and Chico. It went to Old Mom J, Celeste Burchard, Tanya Stefanian, Albert Rodriguez, and Michelle Wareham. All were gifted memberships from Carla and Chico.
Fired up! Fire Kiko! Oh, my Lanta. One more time. Wow. And Benji just dropped new emojis. I'm gonna try to upload them tonight. They're more horror night. They're more horror night. But thank you, Carla and Kiko. Oh my Lanta, for growing the community. Real quick as well, dude. Just dirty info coming right now, Danny. Uh, Tiana's has more electrical power for lighting all over the mountain. Hence, groundwork for all 3 locations by Pooh Entrance. They needed a power source for the lights in front of the ride and the store. Wow, and we have seen all sorts of electrical stuff happening down there.
Yeah.
It's all covered now, but we've seen it. Uh, Also, too, Haunted Mansion front queue deadline is end of July. Extended queue mid-September. Elevator end of October or mid-November. That elevator's going into December, dog. I don't. I'm not even gonna go too deep into it, but it's things are hard to move fast in Haunted Mansion. Uh, I'm not even gonna get into it, but thank you so much, Zapachet 2006. Your insight is always welcome, my friend. Thank you.
Are
Wow,
we going to
Danny.
transition now to D23?
Yeah, I just can't get over the Tiana, dude. Where is it? Oh my gosh. September 19th or October 3rd. Honestly, I'm going to go with both those dates because they're probably going to do DVC preview, pass holder
Club 33.
preview, Club 33 preview. Maybe October 3rd is like official when it's open to everybody. Wow. Did not expect that fire. Okay. Damn, dude. There's just so much to talk about.
Robbie Adair in the chat says, Mondo, Danny, any thoughts on how Disney decided 69 was a profitable number? Something to think about anyway. Robbie, this is not a ticket for Southern California residents. This is a ticket only for the residents of Anaheim, only people that live in Anaheim. And it's $69 because Disneyland turned 69 just 3 or 4 days ago. So to celebrate Disneyland turning 69, they offered a $69 ticket for the Anaheim residents who also were a big part in helping Disneyland Forward get approved. So it was sort of like Disney saying, hey, we're letting you get these tickets as a special thank you and helping us celebrate. Come join us at Disneyland between now and August 29th, or September 29th or 26th for that new price. So it's not Southern California tickets. I'm sure we'll probably get some sort of Southern California ticket deal where you have like the 3-day ticket that you can use. We haven't heard about that yet, right? I don't think, Mondo. Not quite yet. But this ticket offer is just for Anaheim residents. I don't think it's meant to be profitable. I think it's just a gift and something to celebrate 69.
Yeah, it's a thing for the resident. Or it's just like extending hey, all the people living in our surrounding area, please come, celebrate. Haunted Mansion exit will be a wooden tunnel covered as you exit. I don't even know what that means.
It means that you're exiting and you're passing right by the construction that's right there for the gift shop. So for the time being, until all that opens, you're going to be coming out through a wood wall tunnel until you get back out to the front. They gotta block the guests out from the construction that's going on around them.
Yeah, because we got the Madame Leota gift shop at some point in time.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I wanted to show, Danny. I couldn't, get a little closer look. Right here, look at that. That's what's coming at some point in time. Something like that. Just a better look, kind of going more to that right side. Shout out to Big Black Eye Channel. Thank you for sending that. All right, let's finish off this insane Speculation Sunday. Wow. D23, Danny, what do you want to go into, dog? What do you want to go into? Lead the way.
I just wanted to. We're not going to really talk too much about D23. I think we'll do more. Like Q&A for D23, another episode. We just don't have time for that this time, right? We went a little longer on some of the theme parks. But I think what we want to touch is if you could pull up the shopping page again, Mondo. We talked about this last time when we were doing D23 Q&A for the first time, but I wanted to bring this up just because it's relevant, right? Mondo talked about all the new shops they were adding and some new merch that Disney announced would be coming to D23. We have quite a few new shops coming, but the thing that's most important about D23, if you're planning on going when it comes to shopping, is there's a big exclusive note, if you want to find in there, Mondo, that talks about the virtual queue somewhere. I don't know, in this article that talks about the virtual queue for shopping. It could be towards the bottom.
Virtual queue, where you at? You know what I'll do? I'm just gonna
How to shop right there. It's right there. You just had it.
I was gonna do like find word. I was gonna put find virtual queue.
So guests will be able to access D23 Marketplace, which is like the big kind of store that has all the themed like merch drops in it. The Walt Disney Company store, which is new this year. The Walt Disney Company Pin Store, Mickey's of Glendale Pin Store, and the Studio Store Hollywood, only virtual queue. You cannot shop there without virtual queue. So if you're interested in doing any of these locations, the virtual queue will open at 9 a.m. and you have to use the Disneyland app to do that. So the same place that you would go get a virtual queue. And at this time, it's probably safe to say Haunted Mansion's going to be open too. Yeah. So there's going to be a virtual queue for Haunted Mansion. There's going to be a virtual queue for World of Color. And then there's going to be virtual queues in the app that weekend for all of the D23 shops. And you're going to have to get into the D23 shop that you want's virtual queue. And the thing is when the virtual queue number is called for shopping at D23, this doesn't mean you get to enter the store. It just means that you get to wait in line. So
which could be 2 hours.
Well, I don't think it's going to be 2 hours, but you could at least be waiting 30, 45 minutes to get into the shop at that point. So don't expect to just walk right on in. So if you have plans or you're trying to plan on doing like shop your panels that you were given random selections for, just keep that in mind. There's still probably a wait involved with the shopping. So, and keep in mind as well, when you do your boarding group, it's only for you and one guest, and there's no exceptions on that. Like, there's no exceptions. So you got to make sure that you get into the boarding group like with the you're selecting like all the different people, or like everyone's doing it on their own app so that they can like get into the shop, because they're really strict on that. Like they don't allow a lot of like subject stuff to that. Now at the end of the day, they will do standby for some of these shops. So it's basically when all of the boarding groups have been called and there's no more boarding groups left for each shop, they'll just open it and then you can enter it at that point. But the only way to shop for it once it opens, and then for the remainder of the first part of the day, is just a virtual queue. And you already know, if you're interested in some of the like the kind of the pins and the rare drops that are happening, you're gonna have to get in those virtual queues if you want any of that, because it'll sell out. So,
Dude, first of all, the internet is terrible at this location. I'm like, oh my gosh. Guests will be able to access D23 Marketplace, Walt Disney Company Store, the Walt Disney Company Pin Store, Mickey's of Glendale Pin Store, Disney Store, Disney Studio Store Hollywood. Only via virtual queue. Virtual queue will be required to shop at these locations starting the event at 9 a.m. There will be no standby. Oh my gosh, Danny, this is wild. I didn't know this. I didn't know it was going to go like that.
I know I talked about it on my podcast. It's a huge thing. I don't want people to be surprised, because if you're coming into D23 and you're trying to go into Mickey's of Glendale, which a lot of people usually are, because that's the shop that has the theme park specific merchandise. Like it's the Imagineering store, right? So they usually have merchandise that's themed to like that particular year's Imagineering showcase. So we'll probably see, in my opinion, Mondo, some merchandise here from Tiana's. And we'll probably see also merchandise from whatever new thing they're going to announce, right? They usually have something like that too. They had like Avengers Campus merchandise like years before Avengers Campus opened in the Mickey's of Glendale store at D23 one of the years ago. And I think Mondo had an Avengers Campus shirt from that store. And like everyone asked him where he got it. And it was like, oh, I got it at D23. But
yeah. Wow. Didn't D23 used to do it where, like, you know how they chose the panels and you're like, which one's my favorite? Wasn't it like that previous? It wasn't a virtual queue, right? I don't remember it being a virtual queue.
No, this is just for shopping. So the shopping is the
Like,
virtual queue. So
Last year.
they did shopping virtual queues last year too.
Yeah.
That I think last year was the first year they did shopping virtual queues. The random selection process for the panels and the show floor experiences, that started, I want to say, three D23s ago. And the third, the one that happened 3 D23s ago, that was the first year that did it, where like, remember you and I got like nothing, and like Chris got like everything. So that was, last year was a little bit better in that sense. They ironed out some of the issues with that. So I don't expect too many issues, knock on wood, with the random selection process. So right now, everyone's made their random selections, and starting August 2nd, you'll start to get email confirmations of what you actually were assigned. So based on the number of guests that you put in, the way you ranked the things that you wanted in your selection, that's how Disney's going to make, and also based on availability of how many spots are left in those panels, that's what you're going to get for your selections or not. So now, like someone said in here, I think let's see here, Mr. Disney King put, last D23 Expo, the final hour of the Expo, we got to just walk into some of the stores, not all of them. So they that's true, but at the end of the day, they might be sold out of like a lot of sizes that you want on t-shirts, on things like that. So you just got to keep that in mind. If you're going in and like you have an expectation that you want to like buy a certain thing, or you want to get certain things, like you might want to shop first. So that's something to keep in mind. The lines do get long inside to check out too, but like Mondo had up on that screen, the next paragraph was talking about, if you guys remember, you can do the mobile checkout when you're in like all the shops inside Disneyland and World of Disney. They're going to enable that too inside the Disneyland app and the D23 app. So just make sure you have the D23 app downloaded and make sure you have the Disneyland app downloaded and updated, because and check to make sure that you've checked for updates on both of those before D23, because Disney will issue an update to push more stuff out to it that's relevant. And then for the D23 app, you can delete it after the D23 Expo weekend. You don't need it anymore if you don't want it. But at least for the D23 Expo weekend, it's really crucial that when you download that app, you turn on the notifications for it. I hate notifications for apps, but in past years, those notifications have helped me out a lot, because if there's some kind of change to something last minute, or some kind of special thing going on, or like a giveaway happening in the middle of the show floor at a specific location, Disney's going to push it through on that app as a push notification, and those that have it enabled find out first.
Yeah.
So I know
those matter. Those matter.
Yeah, I know a couple times I was burned for not having those turned on. So just make sure that if you have the D23 app downloaded, that the notifications are on if you're going to D23. So,
Mr. Disney King, no cash. Do not forget, no cash.
Yeah, no cash.
No cash at D23?
I think he means like inside for like the food locations.
Oh, okay. Let me see. Dude, Zappa is just dropping fire after fire after fire, Danny. I gotta get through this. Where is it? The boss wants Space Mountain done by end of August. When is Space Mountain closing? Isn't it like
it's already closed, right?
Oh
Isn't it closing? Or no, it's closing in August.
Space Mountain was open. It was open.
Yeah, no, it's closing in August, right?
I think like maybe August 5th or something, or 7th. Like it's early August.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like it's closing the same time as the train, isn't it? And like the monorail.
Mm-hmm. Look at this. Reason why Red Creek has not opened is because of a future project underground electrical integration. What in the Baba freak? I don't even know what that means. We'll save that for a different day, but damn. What? Wow. Closing thoughts on everything, Danny.
Yeah, regular Josh one. The train is also closing. Yeah, Josh, look up.
Everything's closing. D23's coming. They're like, close the freaking.
Look up everything that closes starting like the week of D23, and then you just wonder like, what's open at Disneyland anymore?
I have one of those. Somebody posted a list of that, Danny. I could bring it up right now.
I think Theme Park IQ had it.
Let me see. I remember. I think it was Chasey. Yep, I got it right here. Right. Yep.
Chris Maldonado in the chat asked, when is D23? D23 is August 9, 10, 11.
Redwood Creek Challenge Trail reopens 7/23. Haunted Mansion, blah, blah. Nope, this is not it. Was it Theme Park IQ?
Yeah, I think they had or even just, if you just type in Google Disneyland refurbishment schedule, I think the first one that pops up is like Disney Tourist Blog or something, and they have a list.
You're right, Danny. Theme Park IQ, dropping the fire. Let me get it right here. Disneyland Railroad closing August 5th. Space Mountain closes August 5th. Pixar Fest is ending on the 4th?
Yep.
What? I thought it was going deeper in August.
No, it ends on 8/3.
Animation Academy.
The last day is 8/3. The last
8/3. Animation Academy closes 8/5. Turtle Talk with Crush 8/5. Anna Elsa 8/5. And at the same time, Haunted Mansion could possibly be closed. Tiana's is closed. Pooh's closed.
Critter Country.
Hungry Bear. The canoes. Damn. Crazy. Redwood.
Yeah, those are my closing thoughts.
Redwood Creek will not be there after summer 2025. Holy smokes! I'll look into that. That wasn't even on my radar. I'll look into that. Wow. I don't even know what to say to that. But closing thoughts, Danny. We don't have enough time to go into all this. Hey, next Tuesday, Speculation Sunday is going to be fire, dude.
Yeah, I was going to say, Tuesday speculation next week will be good. We'll have a lot of horror news to talk about. Maybe we have even some more guests to bring on. Talk about some horror. Maybe get Noah on here. So if you have any questions about all that, bring it next week so we can talk more about some of the horror events. And maybe Mondo digs out his lantern and we can bring it out for the next show.
Yeah, I know exactly where it is. In the garage. I got it. Also, too, Danny, let people know one more time where they can find you, upcoming content, podcast. Let the people know.
Yeah. You can follow me on all social medias and YouTube at Just Ask Danny. Just search for that. You'll find it for sure. And then my podcast is called the 5571 Podcast. And it's on all podcast platforms. And comes out every single week. So this week, I'll probably put out the podcast. My guess is on Thursday. So we'll record on Wednesday night and we'll put it out Thursday. I think I want to delay till Thursday just because I feel like Disney might share some more news this week.
Yeah, no, it's going to be fire, Danny. You know Disney don't like other theme parks having the shine. They're going to drop stuff.
Yeah, and they want to also, like, leading up to D23, they also put a lot of stuff out that they don't want to talk about at D23.
Yeah.
So that's why we got the Country Bear like barbecue restaurant. So like we could see some other things, like maybe they share some more details about like what's coming to the Lincoln Theater. We don't know. We'll have to wait and see. So, but that's like when you can expect the new podcast. And again, it's called the 5571.
Mm-hmm. My closing thoughts. Incredible live stream. Shout out to Danny. Shout out to the community. You guys have all been incredible. If you can, hit the like button here on the YouTubes. All the people watching on Twitter, thank you guys so much. But my closing thoughts, these theme parks they're all heating up. We're about to go into Halloween. We're going to go into Midsummer Scream next week, which we will be live streaming all the big panels. So stay tuned for that on this channel. They'll all be happening on this channel.
Are you going to do a live stream through the Hall of Shadows, Mondo?
There's never internet, dude. There's no internet in there.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless I could get a Wi-Fi password for that location. There's literally Hall of Shadows. That's a tip. Your phone won't even work in there. It's just so bad in there. What I was going to say, we have a very big week ahead of us because Midsummer Scream, all the horror is going to come out. But at the same time, Comic-Con is happening. So we're going to get Marvel news, I guess DC news. You know, I don't know if Six Flags will do anything, but Marvel is going to be at Comic-Con. And Deadpool vs. Wolverine comes out. And I was actually able to bring up the merch. I just want to showcase it real quick because I mentioned it earlier in the live. I don't want to leave people hanging. On the Disney website, you can get... Disney store website, you can get Deadpool Wolverine merch. It's there. It is there. This one is sick. It's like, yeah.
Very that shirt's cool. Mondo. That's calling Mondo's name right there.
Yeah, the black shirt for sure. I want that. I don't know about this other stuff, but hey, I'm guessing when the movie comes out, they'll probably drop more merch. I'm guessing it's spoiler ridden, so they don't want to ruin things. But stay tuned, everybody. Like we said, Speculation Sunday is going to move 2 Tuesdays from now because holy macaroni, things are coming down the line. And I just want to say thank you for hanging out with us tonight. The incredible Speculation Sunday, Danny. Awesome. Freaking awesome.
So fun.
Thank you, Benji. Thank you to all the mods. Hit the like button one more time. We are firing it down. The Cali Bay and Just Ask Danny are calling it a day. I'm the main host, Mondo.